this week, but.
Okay, I didn't bring it this time, but I will.
Well, we almost talked about that.
Huh?
We almost talked about that.
I was like, you text me, I tried calling.
How are
You
you?
must be busy, that's why I just texted back, yeah.
Rather than I tried calling back.
Pardon me?
Okay.
No, never mind.
Is anybody else not gonna make it, Josh?
No, we should have a full house tonight.
I forgot to ask you something, I'm gonna ask you to do something in your places. I don't know where the.
You are filling secretary.
Man,
Yes, I
I
am.
can't figure out how to.
You're not just a fiddle-in.
I know, right? Come on, give me some more credit
Oh,
than that.
okay.
For us, she is.
It's just
Okay.
such a nightmare switching back and forth all the time, I'm just gonna
Hi, Russ.
leave it where I put it, or
Doing well on yourself?
maybe change it once, you know.
Got a new position.
All I was gonna ask you is how there any major issues.
Hey, Russ.
Doing
I don't know.
I wanted to see
Here you are.
Good, how are you?
why the special meeting for it. And there, like you were saying, you were thinking about coming to the spot. It should be quick.
Didn't see you over
I
there.
know, I'm hiding from you.
Am I gonna sit by you over there or not?
You sit wherever you want.
Where I want? Okay.
Sure. I did spend quite a bit of time looking this stuff out.
Having a good winter? Yeah, I guess. You go anywhere? On work.
Jeff Ken
Florida, half this month, there's all business, the weather's.
Oh, I'm sorry, you're not Jeff, huh?
No.
Okay, wait a minute, now you're kinda messing me up here.
No.
The nameplates
This
are
is the
not
plan
correct.
commission.
Oh, okay, I'm sorry.
Sort of March. Kristen,
We're not fancy enough to get corrected.
And when I did sit up there, my name didn't fit in those nameplates either. I still never got the fancy plate.
Yes. That's, yeah, that's for the ordinance, I just use this as one of the summary. That's the ordinance number.
Okay,
Yeah,
okay.
yeah.
This is the ABC.
Yeah,
ordinance,
yeah.
City council number,
Yeah,
basically.
You're right.
Mayor's gonna be here.
Just throw me off today.
Josh's secretary is sick today, so.
Oh,
Okay.
His truck.
You guys lie.
He has that's his truck. Oh, that's his truck. Okay.
Did you start that?
I hadn't talked to him. I haven't talked to him. That's the order.
You ready, Josh?
Yeah.
It's 5 o'clock. I'm gonna call the special meeting of the Rensselaer Advisory Plan Commission to order. Josh, would you proceed with the roll call?
Yes. President Kevin Arnold.
Here.
Vice President Stan Haynes.
Here.
Jeff Rayburn.
Here.
Dina Rule. Absent. Bryce Black.
Here.
Cliff Wood.
Here.
Scott Barton.
Here.
John Cobby.
Here.
Mike Davis.
Here.
All right.
First order of business is swearing in a new member. Mr. Mayor?
All right. You wanna raise your hand or repeat after me? I, Scott Barton,
I, Scott Barton,
do solemnly swear
do solemnly swear
that I will support the Constitution of the United States,
I will support the Constitution of the United States,
the Constitution of the State of Indiana,
the Constitution of the State of Indiana,
that I will faithfully and impartially
that I will faithfully and impartially
discharge my duties
discharge my duties
as a member of the Rensselaer Advisory Plan Commission
as a member of the Rensselaer Advisory Plan Commission
of the City of Rensselaer,
of the City of Rensselaer,
according to the law,
according to the law,
to the best of my ability.
and to the best of my ability.
So help me God.
So help me God.
Thank you.
Congratulations, Scott.
Also have black.
Real signature.
Thank you.
Congratulations. The next order of business is APC petition 01-2025, Gilmore Farm / Fenwick property large lot split. Josh?
Yeah. John, I'll go ahead. So what we're doing here, this started a couple of years ago. As you can see on here, Fenwick's purchased this property and they split it off from the Gilmore Farm originally. It's a 3.5 acre plot. This is a single transaction large lot subdivision, which is this falls under our amendment section. That's why we're not having a public hearing on this. This is something we can approve without a public hearing. I can zoom in on it here. But since this has already taken place, the county has already recorded this and created the parcel. It wasn't approved by you guys back in 2022 when it was done. So before we can hear any additional petitions on rezoning or anything like that, we first need to go back and approve this first split. So this is, as you can see on my report there, the original parcel was at approximately 237 acres. They split off this approximately 3.5 acre lot, leaving the, which a A1 minimum requirement is 3 acres, so this is larger than the minimum requirement. And that left approximately 234 acres to the original farm ground. So, that's an area. I'm good.
Okay, Mr. Shellman?
Yes, sir. I've given you the, I think, 3 documents, one of which is the larger scale to show you that this is just inside the City of Rensselaer's jurisdiction. Second one is an overhead shot of the 3.5 acres. And then the third one is the proposed split, showing you the proposed split. And it was requested that we establish where the well and the septic was for the parcel that is going to contain the residence. And I've contacted Ronnie, who is in the hospital, unable to attend today. And he has indicated where the proximal location of both of those are. I think the first request was then for a, I don't know, I will ask, do you need to do the single lot subdivision because I've prepared application for a single lot subdivision, caused that to be filed. I then filed an application for change of zoning classification from A1 to A2, caused that to be filed. About a week and a half ago, I contacted the city and they indicated that they had everything. They didn't need any more. To try to verify that, I tried to contact the city on 3 separate occasions by phoning them today. I sent an email to the zoning also today, trying to verify so we would have no hiccups today. I've not got any communication back. So I'm assuming that what we have all provided, which was all the documents, when Ron initially purchased this 3.5 acres, filed the deed, got the title insurance, got a partial number, all recorded. It's been in his wife's name for about 2 years now. I was also requested to prove that Ron Fenwick received tax bills and paid the real estate taxes. I provided that documentation. And I also, I will just tell you that the proposed split here is subject to a purchase agreement. It expired. We were able to get the buyer to extend the closing 2 days and its lending institution, so we could close on the 29th. That is set. We have the documents to the title company, having that ready to close. Of course, pending the decisions that this board will enter. And because it's the intentions here for Ron to retain the grain bins, the farm buildings and such, and that the residents be split off and be sold so an individual can move into it. Thus, I guess we're required to have a single lot subdivision and then request the change of zoning from an A1 district into an A2. So I believe that's all the facts to the best of my knowledge that we have provided everybody with.
I think so, yeah.
I'll make a motion to do a large split.
Can we hold just a minute for that? Is there any public comments for or against this? Josh, you have anything?
No, like I said, he submitted all the documentation that's required by the zoning code as far as taxes and no liens or anything like that on the property, so we won't run into any further legal issues by creating this split.
Okay. Attorney Sam, is everything all square?
As far as I can see, yes.
Okay. Sorry. I'll entertain a motion.
Now, I'd like to make a motion to approve the large lot split.
Second. Been motioned and seconded to approve the large lot split for the Gilmore Farm, ABC petition 01-2025. Is there any further discussion? All those in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion passed. Okay, for the ABC petition 02-2025, the zoning classification of this. Josh?
Yes. So I hope you guys got a chance to review my report there. Oh, and one other comment I wanted to make about all these 2 hearings tonight. We did have a problem with getting this published in the newspaper properly. We sent it in, they had a snafu, but we did post this in 3 public places to make sure we could all have these hearings tonight and everything, so we should be good on all of that. Okay, so currently this property is zoned, in here, you can see, it is zoned A1, that has, you can see the documentation I provided you, that has a minimum lot size of 3 acres and a minimum lot width of 300 feet. What they're requesting to do with the split is to create 2 parcels that have a lot lot size of like 1.75 acres. And so that's why they're requesting A2, because A2 has a minimum lot size of 1 acre and a minimum road frontage of 70 feet, which what the proposed split would still meet both those requirements. As far as potential uses go, in all reality, making this an A2 makes it further restrictive on anything that you can do on the property versus, which is transitional agricultural. Everything on there has to be conditionally approved. There are no permitted uses that come with it, regular agriculture.
But everything Ron's currently doing there is okay?
Yes, yeah, no, that's fine. They can continue to do that. There's a state law that protects all that to stay the same. It's just if they wanted to change any uses, that's where they could run into problems. As you can see, what they propose on there for the lot doesn't have any new driveways created or any roads or anything like that. So things to consider, as I put in the note here, the state code asks you guys to confirm this is, or to review to make sure this is comprehensive or consistent with the comprehensive plan. I did not see any issue. It positively or neutrally impacts the current conditions and the character of the current structures and uses in the abutting district. This is all agricultural ground. I do not see any issue there. It will result in the most desirable use for the land that is adapted, and they'll want to split it up for somebody that doesn't want to maintain the farm building, so it makes sense. Does it positively or neutrally affect the property values throughout the city or the adjacent area? And I believe Mr. Shellman noted that, splitting it up, it should actually increase property values. And then will it promote reasonable development and growth? I think that's kind of a neutral thing with this one, but I don't think it's going to hurt anything. So,
Okay. Mr. Shellman, anything further on just the zoning?
Nothing.
Is there anyone to speak for or against the zoning of this property, the rezoning? Anything additional, Josh?
like I said, I did not receive any statements prior to the meeting before or against. We sent out, there's not a lot of people around this area, but we sent out letters and everything according to our rules, so.
Okay. Mr. Sammons, everything okay with this zoning?
Yeah, I think this is a good example of a situation where this all makes sense.
Okay. If there's nothing further, I will entertain a motion for a recommendation to the council, either favorable, unfavorable, or no recommendation.
Recommend favorable.
There's been a motion to recommend this petition to the council as a favorable recommendation. Second?
Yes.
Okay. Been motioned and seconded to make a favorable recommendation to the council. All those in favor? Say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Okay. The next item on the agenda is APC petition 03-2025, subdivision control amendment. Josh?
Yes. All right, so this is also arrived from this exact situation we're talking about here tonight. State code allows us to include a provision in our subdivision control code to create a simpler process for subdividing properties that don't involve opening of a new public way. And then they adhere to our zoning ordinance, subdivision and zoning ordinances in all other ways. What we did when we developed this, Attorney Salmon and I worked on it together, is that we looked at what the city county saw.
We got a chair for you.
We reviewed, the county has a provision in their zoning and subdivision control ordinance called a simple subdivision, and where they limit that to is rural areas where there's not creating more than 3 lots. Once we get past that, or splitting it into 3 lots, I should say. So what we have done with this is I reviewed all of the normal requirements of our subdivisions and different application processes for smaller things to make sure we included it. We are restricting this type of subdivision to prime agriculture or A1, A2, and RS. So that is our more rural areas to get it more in common with what the county allows at the same time. In order to approve these, we're also looking to add on there the amendment of in creating what the state calls a plat committee. What they require from the plat committee, it needs to consist of 3 to 5 members, one of which has to be a member of the commission. And I'll just kind of read through this here. So the term for each plat committee member is 1 year, so you guys will have to decide that every year who's on the plat committee. We're giving them the authority to examine, preliminary plats of major subdivisions, final plats of both, amendments to plats, waivers, and then what we're doing here tonight, simple subdivisions as well. They will make recommendations to this full committee regarding preliminary plat applications for major subdivisions and any waivers to those subdivisions. The decisions they'll be allowed to render are final plats of a major subdivision or simple subdivision, amendments to subdivisions, or simple subdivisions altogether. The meetings are required to be public meetings, so they'll be announced 2 days ahead of time for anybody that wants to come and see the hearing. It won't be open to the public for comment, but anybody is allowed to come and see the hearing. Then a special provision of there is that anytime one of the committee members objects or would like to appeal to the entire commission, the decision cannot be made at that meeting, and it will be brought to the entire commission for a decision. And then in regards to a simple subdivision, one other thing I want to bring up, which is about the public's right to appeal. So this can normally go through, they will get approved without a public hearing. So to remedy that, what the state has put in there, that after if it is approved, we will send out notice just like we would for a public hearing, and then give them a period of 10 days to come and appeal it. If somebody appeals it, then that simple subdivision will be brought to the entire plan commission for you to review and approve.
Is there anything in this that helps the rezoning piece go by easier, or will that always be separate?
That will always be separate. One of the reasons is because you make a recommendation to the council, and they have to approve that through an ordinance. So.
Any other questions, comments?
I do have one other thing I thought of that as we're trying to get things done quickly and this gets approved tonight. Would you like to go ahead and create a committee in the event this does get approved by the council? That way we can handle.
So it says at least one member from the commission, but it can be more than one.
Yes, it can be more than one. It could be all members from the plan commission. You know, we're just one, only one has to be. So.
And then if there's one from the plan commission, then the other two, four come from where?
Anywhere you guys choose to do.
Okay.
So.
It would make sense to me to have, if they're willing to do it, have our Josh and our attorney, Sammons, on there just for any legal questions or technical questions. Makes sense to me to do it that way. And then, anybody want to volunteer?
Sure.
Scott? Everybody okay with that? Can we take a vote on that, or we just?
Yeah, go ahead if you want to just.
All those in favor of Scott Barton, Josh Davis, and Todd Sammons on the part of this plat committee, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? There you go.
Okay.
Can I clarify
If
then?
Yeah.
We're making it a 3-member plat committee then?
Correct.
Correct,
Yeah.
correct, correct. If it's approved by the council
Yeah.
in an hour. Any further comments or questions?
Yeah, I have some comments I wanted to make. I guess I've had some time to think about what happened at our last meeting, and I think everybody knows.
We're not through with this. Can we go get through this vote and then we can discuss it?
We'll go through that.
Okay.
I have a question.
Okay, Noel?
So for this simple subdivision in this committee, I know there's some proposed fees that we're looking at changing, for all of this. So it's my understanding, so if somebody is going the simple subdivision route, let's just say Josh, so the fee for that, is that what this $500, the pre-design meeting fee, they would pay a $500 fee?
No, that was just if somebody is coming in ahead of doing an application, wanted to get all the city together to meet and discuss all the requirements. That wouldn't have anything to do with a simple subdivision.
Okay, because it says, it's under tech review / plat committee. So the plat committee
Well,
would,
I'm sorry. I had
Okay.
to add a couple things in there as we were doing this, so not all of those things, those are different things that could be for that, but they're not.
On the proposed schedule in the world, there are 2 items for simple subdivision.
Yeah.
okay, and I
2
did,
lot and a 3 lot.
I did see that, okay. So that was my question, so this isn't an additional fee that they would be applying for if they want to do a subdivision, simple subdivision?
Yeah, it would be a completely
For-
separate application for it, yeah.
Okay, and then if there was an appeal, so you have your fee for the 1 and 2 lot subdivisions, and then say there's an appeal to that, and you do have to go before and call a meeting, there's an additional fee for that
That
meeting.
would not be,
Is that
that
how
would
we're
be,
setting it up?
that's more along the lines of a decision the whole, or something, a decision I've rendered, I guess, that's what those appeals are for. If I made an administrative appeal, that wouldn't be the type of appeal we were talking about, I was just referring to if somebody from the surrounding area made an appeal, that wouldn't fall under that.
Okay, so if you have an administrative appeal
Yeah, that's what that is.
that you're filing, that's where the additional fees come.
Yeah, yeah.
Thank
That
you.
would be if somebody wanted to apply for a simple subdivision, I said it didn't qualify, and they wanted to appeal the board. That's what that.
Okay, thank you for clarifying.
Any other comments or questions?
Yeah,
Ernest?
I got a question. So these fees and everything, where did you get them? I mean, where did you come up with the numbers?
Some of them from, like, in the past, but there's, as we discussed in the previous meetings, they're kind of all over the place. What Crystal and I tried to do is we kind of tried to work and figure out minimum hours and things to work on these type of, for the applications. But that's where they came from. We reviewed a lot of zoning codes, and it's kind of all over the place. There's no rhyme or reason. One of the consultants we had worked with had given us a spreadsheet to help you kind of figure those things, and that's how they based off their fees, is to put in who's involved and how many people and rates of what everybody is paid and stuff like that. So
Is that from around the area or from all over the state?
all over the state. I mean, this was where we came up. This was kind of based at the best example we saw of it was from Delphi.
But we'll have a decision on that in the next meeting, right? With the
Yeah,
fees that'll be presented.
It's just being
Council.
introduced tonight. Yes, not asking for approval of that. So.
Is there any other questions or comments? Anything from the board? I'll entertain a motion for a recommendation to the council.
I'll make that motion.
Favorable?
Favorable. Second.
It's been motioned and seconded to make a favorable recommendation to the council. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion passed. Okay, are there any other further comments?
Yeah, I just wanted to say that I've had time to reflect on what happened our last meeting on how this election process went, and I'm extremely disappointed in how it was handled. I've served on this board for somewhere between 30 and 40 years, and I've always wanted this city and our community to prosper. And I've always had a love for our community and the city of Rensselaer, and have tried to do the right things on this board. But evidently, there's a couple of members that didn't agree with that. So I think it's time for me to step aside, so I'm gonna officially resign from the board. I don't feel welcome on it any longer, so I want to thank the board for the support they gave me over the years. But it's time for me to step aside and resign. Thank you.
I don't want you to think that at all.
I don't think that of everybody. Not at all.
Yeah, thanks for all your years,
Yep.
Stan.
I really think that you have a lot to offer this board, and I think that we need you. We need
Well,
your
I agree.
experience.
I agree.
I'm sorry, but I don't feel like that it's my place on here anymore. I don't feel welcome. Never dreamed I would say that, but I am.
Anyone else have any comments? Next meeting of the Planning Commission is Thursday, February 20th, 2025 at 5 p.m.
Sorry, that should be 5:30.
5:30
Yes.
on the 20th, February 20th. There being nothing further, I'll entertain a motion for adjournment. And motion and seconded to adjourn. All those in favor? Aye. Stan, I do thank you for your service.
I'll be in touch. Thanks for everything.
Yeah, no problem.